are new arrests in the fight on 4th Street in Cincinnati that's made headlines nationwide.
Yeah, Police Chief Teresa Thigi says there are 5 warrants for specific people, but only 2 are in custody so far. And those 2 would be 34-year-old Montanez Merriweather and 24-year-old Dekyra Vernon. They are both charged with felonious assault and aggravated rioting. Merriweather has a criminal history, including being found guilty of possession of a stolen firearm and aggravated robbery. Vernon has no prior criminal history.
Those who call downtown home are concerned about the recent violence. It was a packed house inside the public library tonight.
That's where residents came to hear from city leaders about what's being done about safety in that area. Local 12's Chris Arnold was at that meeting. He joins us now live with what was said. Chris.
Well, good evening, Kyle. Yeah, several leaders, city leaders that is, were in attendance tonight. Now, Cincinnati Mayor Aftab Purval attended the meeting via Zoom and addressed the crowd for a little more than 2 minutes. Now, for those physically in the room, they all weighed in on the events from a few days ago, shown in a video that has now gone viral.
I do not accept this one incident that we had this past weekend, and I'm definitely not going to let it define us.
Let me be clear. Crystal clear. That was a violent encounter. It makes me sick to watch it over and over again.
Respond to new challenges.
Well, while the city leaders did address the events from this past week, and the meeting itself really focused on what they are doing right now and what they look to do when addressing public safety. The city manager started off by talking about Act for Cincy, which is a collaborative community-driven strategy to prevent violence, namely gun violence in the city. Now, the chief walked the crowd through the crime data from the Central Business District. She says numbers are up in some areas, but one slide mentioned that calls in the Central Business District have declined in 2025 compared to the same time last year. Now, the chief and mayor both pointed to the positive impact of their new street crime task force.
The dark blue is 2025, the light blue is 2024's data. You can see, since the task force has been in operation, the direct impact they've had on property crime in CBS. That doesn't mean that they're only operating down here. They have citywide responsibilities.
And proactively going after street-level crimes our residents have been victim to. Institute new directed walking patrols in parts of our urban core at the direct request of our residents.
Well, I spoke with Joel Schindler tonight, who has lived downtown for 5 years. Schindler says he was pleased with what he heard from Chief Thigi and mentioned one thing he'd like to see in the future.
From my perspective, from where we live and what we see, that increased police visibility, especially in some of the later hours, 10 to 2 a.m., is critically important. That kind of visibility so that people have in the back of their mind a concern that the police could come by and address any of these issues, that would be great.
Well, another topic of safety that was discussed at length tonight was the city's youth. Now, City Manager Cheryl Long says they are looking into how to successfully and safely enforce a curfew for unaccompanied minors. For now, live outside the main branch of the public library, Chris Arnold, Local 12 News.